Greetings, maniacs, New Englanders, and everyone else tuning in today. I hope this video finds you well. Personally, I told myself that I wasn't going to film today. When I'm filming, it's October 20th, and it's a Friday. It is 8:25 in the morning, but that means that my weekend has already begun because I work third shift. So, that being said, I was planning on taking the day off, and then I stumbled across this article that came out, I guess, last night, and I only saw it this morning. And it made me reconsider that maybe I shouldn't take time off when there is a lot of important things going on in our state and our world, and that maybe there was time to relax at another point. So this video, as you can tell from the thumbnail, is all about CMP. CMP, Avangrid, and Iberdrola Generación, a Spanish electricity company. And I think I'm pronouncing it right, but I could not be. So it's very concerning because I think a lot of us have heard Maine, not Spain, when we're talking about keeping the electric grid here in our state. At least profits and everything within the state. I think that's what most people want. I don't think most people want to profit from the electric grid, but if we're paying our tax dollars in and there is some profit, some revenue from that, then it should then be pumped back into the grid, or we're all given tax write-offs the next year for the electric grid. Not what we're currently doing, which is seeing our electric prices skyrocket. Almost season after season. It is too much. It is too much. So we're going to start with an article by WGME.com, 13, the station 13. It says, it's a report. Executives for Spanish company with ties to CMP accused of manipulating electricity prices. This is by Stephanie Grindley from CBS 13 I-Team. Came out October 19th at 5:09 p.m. A Spain-based company with ties to Central Maine Power is in the hot seat this week as 4 company executives are facing huge fines and even jail time accused of manipulating electricity prices a decade ago. According to an article by the Bloomberg News, which I'll read after this, prosecutors in Madrid courtroom seeking close to 90 million in fines from Iberdrola Generación, a subsidiary of Avangrid's Spanish owner, Iberdrola. Avangrid is CMP's parent company. So you have CMP, the parent, Avangrid, grandparent, Iberdrola, in Spain, being sued and possibly seeking jail time. While CMP is not directly connected to the unit of Iberdrola that is part of this investigation, the overall company of Iberdrola still owns CMP's parent company, Avangrid. 4 executives of Iberdrola Generación are now on trial and could face jail time. Bloomberg reports this subsidiary of Iberdrola is accused of manipulating prices in 2013. Spanish market watchdog determined in 2015 that the company had deliberately boosted electricity prices and harmed consumers, imposing a $25 million fine that Iberdrola has appealed. Bloomberg also reports the company headquarters was raided in 2017 by one of Spain's main law enforcement agencies. According to court documents obtained by Bloomberg, the trial is set to run until December 1st. News People for Pine Tree Power, the supporter for a yes vote on question 3 this November, say this Iberdrola board is the board Pine Tree Power would replace by association. Meanwhile, a CMP spokesperson says CMP's board structure in Maine is local and independent, and says none of this trial will affect CMP, nor does it affect Avangrid personally. Um, so that article leaves me with a lot of questions, and it left me with a lot to look into. First, I started with Avangrid. I pulled up the Bloomberg article itself to read that. I'm going to read that in a second. Then I looked into Avangrid, just got an overview of it from Wikipedia. The same thing for Iberdrola. Again, I think I'm pronouncing it correctly. And just got a feel for what was going on for myself. And I'm going to read the articles and I'm going to read you the research. I don't want to leave it. I don't want this to be so opinionated that you can't form your own yourself. However, once I read what I read, I think you'll agree that it's a little suspect, that it leaves more questions than it has answers. So, let's break this down. Bloomberg.com. Avangrid subsidiary CMP wins $30 million federal smart grid technology grant. October 18th, 2023. Avangrid subsidiary CMP wins $30 million federal smart grid technology grant. Established by bipartisan infrastructure law, grant will enhance grid flexibility and improve the resilience of Maine's power grid amongst growing threats of extreme weather. Business Wire. Orange, Connecticut. Again, October 18th, 2023. Avangrid Inc., NYSE, AGR, a leading subsidiary energy company and member of the Iberdrola Group, today announced that its subsidiary, Central Maine Power, CMP, secured a $30 million grant awarded by the U.S. Department of Energy Grids Deployment Office under the Grid Resilience and Innovation Partnerships, GRIP program. Established by the bipartisan infrastructure law, the grant funding will position CMP to accelerate the deployment of smart grid technologies that reduce the frequency and impact of power outages. The new technology will include advanced grid restoration, AGR, and sequential reclosing, SR. These innovative self-healing technologies are designed to reduce the frequency and impact of outages. The grant will also allow deployment of the distribution supervisory control and data acquisition, SCADA. That's kind of fun. SCADA. Switch program to help prevent system faults, particularly to disadvantaged communities. As our customers continue to change the way they use electricity, we are committed to strengthening our electrical system so it can handle an increased threats from climate change. Cybersecurity? Okay, that's not where I thought they were going. At the same time, we are transforming our grid to continue supporting Maine's significant economic growth. New distributed resources like solar power and electrification, said Pedro Azragra. I butchered that name, forgive me. CEO of Avangrid. This works to build a strong, modern, and clean electric grid is for our customers. I want to thank the Biden administration for their climate action leadership and the Department of Energy for selecting our talented team for this grant award. Extreme weather events fueled by climate change will continue to strain the nation's aging transmission system. But President Biden's Investing in America agenda will ensure America's power grid can provide reliable, affordable power, said U.S. Secretary of Energy Jennifer M. Granholm. Today's announcement represents the largest ever direct investment in critical grid infrastructure, supporting projects that will harden systems, improve energy reliability and affordability, all while generating union jobs for highly skilled workers. This grant will increase the flexibility, efficiency, reliability, and resilience of Central Maine Power's electric grid while ensuring a variety of community-level benefits, especially for disadvantaged communities. Specifically, it will increase system reliability, enhance ability to identify faults and minimize outages, mitigate impacts of extreme weather or natural disasters, aggregate and integrate energy resources like solar, create up to 100 jobs across a variety of sectors during the project's duration. Avangrid is appreciative of the support from the Maine Development Foundation, the Governor's Energy Office, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Central Maine Growth Council, Kennebec Valley Community College, and the Mid-Maine Chamber of Commerce during the grant application process. For more information, visit U.S. Department of Energy Grid's Deployment Office. About CMP Power. CMP Power Company, Central Maine Power Company, I'm used to abbreviating it. Central Maine Power Company, CMP, a subsidiary of Avangrid, Inc., is Maine's largest electricity transmission and distribution utility. Established in 1899 and based in Augusta, Maine, CMP serves approximately 646,000 customers across 346 communities in central and southern Maine. It operates approximately 23,500 miles of distribution lines and 2,900 miles of transmission lines. Over the last decade, the community has invested approximately $3.5 billion in main system infrastructure. For more information, visit cmpco.com. About Avangrid. Avangrid, Inc. aspires to be the leading sustainable energy company in the United States. Headquartered in Orange, Connecticut, with approximately $41 billion in assets and operations in 24 U.S. states, Avangrid has two primary lines of business: networks and renewables. Through its network business, Avangrid owns and operates 8 electrical and natural gas utilities, serving more than 3.3 million customers in New York and New England. Through its renewable business, Avangrid owns and operates a portfolio of renewable energy generation facilities across the U.S. Avangrid employs more than 7,500 people and has been recognized by Just Capital in 2021, 2022, 2023 as one of the Just 100 companies, a ranking of America's best corporate citizens. In 2023, Avangrid ranked first within the utility sector for its commitment to the environment. The company supports the UN's Sustainable Development Goals and was named among the world's most ethical companies in 2023 for the 5th consecutive year by the Ethisphere Institute. Institute. Avangrid is a member of the group of companies controlled by Iberdrola, Spain. For more information, visit avangrid.com. End of Bloomberg article. So, CMP gets our tax money to build poles and string wire and maintain those. And then they own them. And now they're also getting a grant on top of everything. And we're talking about an old infrastructure, an aging infrastructure. Well, let's think of some new ways of doing things. Why are we continually doing the same thing over and over again when in parts of the US it is proven that by burying pole lines, it's very beneficial? So why don't we look more into that? So just to give you more of an idea of Avangrid, Avangrid Inc., this is from Wikipedia, so take it or leave it. Avangrid Inc., formerly Energy East and Iberdrola USA, is an energy service and delivery company. Avangrid serves about 3.1 million customers throughout New England, Pennsylvania, and New York in the U.S. There's more information. Well, yeah, why don't I read the history really quickly? In 2008, Iberdrola Spain purchased Energy East. Iberdrola renamed the company Iberdrola USA. In November 2010, Iberdrola USA sold its gas distribution companies in Connecticut and Massachusetts, the Southern Connecticut Gas Company, Connecticut Natural Gas Corporation, and the Berkshire Gas Company to UIL Holdings Corporation. In 2012, Iberdrola USA sold its energy service companies, Energetics and NYSEG Solutions, to Direct Energy. In 2015, Iberdrola USA announced that it had entered into a merger agreement with UIL Holdings Corporation, under which UIL Holdings Corporation would merge into a subsidiary of Iberdrola USA. In December 2015, Iberdrola USA finalized its acquisition of UIL Holdings to create a new company, Avangrid, which will be listed on the New York Stock Exchange as AGR. Avangrid won an auction for an offshore wind area near North Carolina by bidding $9 million in March 2017. Avangrid supports the adoption of electric vehicles in 2017. Avangrid donated $2 million to the Connecticut Hydrogen and Electric Automobile Purchase Rebate Program. The program was launched in 2015 and gives money in the form of rebates to consumers who purchase zero-emission vehicles, which includes electric vehicles. The company also installed electric vehicle charging stations at several of its facilities. In 2018, Avangrid held an electric vehicle fair for its employees with the goal of enabling these employees, if they so choose, to purchase electric vehicles. In 2021, Avangrid subsidiary, CMP, was fined $360,000 for violating standards for industry testing. These standards are intended to maintain electrical stability and prevent electrical outages. So that's interesting. It mentions in 2021 that CMP was fined. Oh, well, okay, so they had to pay it. It wasn't like they were sued and lost or sued and won. They were fined. So, I mean, those are our tax dollars going to this company, and they'll pay for it in write-offs somehow, but our tax money will still end up paying for it. I mean, this year alone, before I just start spouting off at the mouth, because it is late for me, early for recording time, but I don't want to go spouting off at the mouth, so I'm going to look up my electric bill from the past 2 years, 18 months. I don't know if I have 4 years back. I moved. I might have 4 years. So that's very interesting, because the more that I learn about CMP, the more that I learn about Avangrid, the more that I learn about Iberdrola Group. They operate around the world, and that's what I looked into next, was the Iberdrola Group. Is a Spanish multinational electricity utility company based in Bilbao, Spain. Again, this article, what I'm reading is also from Wikipedia, so take it or leave it, but I just wanted to get some kind of idea of what I was dealing with. And I will also read the history of this one. Oh, this one has a longer history. Goes back to before World War I, or at least two. This just gets more interesting. Okay, so from Wikipedia, I'll start from the top. Iberdrola is a Spanish multinational electric utility company based in Bilbao, Spain. Iberdrola has a workforce of around 34,000 employees, serving around 31.67 million customers. Subsidiaries include Scottish Power in the United Kingdom and a significant part of Avangrid, United States, amongst others. As of 2023, the largest shareholder of the company is the Qatar Investment Authority, with BlackRock and Norges Bank also holding significant Iberdrola is the largest producer of wind power and the world's second electric utility by market capitalism. I hadn't previously pulled up these others, but it's so interesting that the more you dig, the more it splits. Kind of like it's all connected. There's just so many webs, so many strings to the web that it's hard to tell. So since I'm on it, I'm just going to read the history of this Iberdrola group. This video is getting a little bit longer than I planned on recording, but I do think this is important, and whatever can help us, we the people, get power back in our hands. And with that power, the money that goes with it, because let's admit it, these companies wouldn't be going to these lengths, paying these fines, if it wasn't worth it for them. Otherwise, they would have just closed shop and been like, yo, Maine, deal with this on your own. No, instead, they're finding ways to make it profitable for themselves. So, okay. Early history. Iberdrola was created on November 1st, 1992, from the merger between Hidroelectrica Española and Iberdrola. Hidroelectrica Española, also known as Hidrola, had started in 1907, while Iberdrola arose from the merger between Hidroelectrica Ibérica and Saltos del Duero in 1944. As of 2011, with the integration of Scottish Powers and Energy East, now named Iberdrola USA, the company has become a major multinational group. The origin of Iberdrola lies in the Spanish industrialization in the early 20th century. In 1840, American entrepreneurs founded the Hartford City Light Company, which led to the incorporation of Energy East on the eastern seaboard of the U.S., which would much later become Iberdrola USA. Meanwhile, in Bilbao, in 1901, Hidroelectrica Ibérica was established by the engineer Juan de Llorita in 1907. Hidroelectrica Ibérica, I'm butchering the Spanish, I'm sorry. Also, they speak Portuguese. I'm butchering this. Shareholders created Hidroelectrica Española to supply Madrid and Valencia. A decade later, Saltos del Duero was founded, opening the country's first hydroelectric facility in 1935. The Ricobaya power plant. World War I forced the industry to seek new sources of energy and to install large distribution networks. Amid huge instability, U.S. power companies underwent consolidation to decrease their financial uncertainty. However, the stock market crash of 1929 and the accompanying Great Depression brought many of these companies in verge of ruin. In Spain, which had experienced a period of economic growth at the start of the 20th century, the industry suffered a severe setback in 1936, whose impact would be felt for the following 2 decades. The Spanish Civil War abruptly halted development, destroyed facilities, and made maintaining the remaining equipment extremely difficult. In the 1940s, Spain experienced extreme difficulty in acquiring technology and materials due to international isolation and soaring prices. The company benefited from the legal and social framework of the Francoist dictatorship for its growth in economic and social relevance. Notably, the president between 1935 and 1985 of one of the former mergers, Hidráulica Española, José María del Oriol y Urquijo, was a relevant Spanish nationalist who allegedly declared to have been part in the investigation and prosecution of more than 80,000 people in the Basque country. So some of that seems... Okay, well, since I already started, I'm going to continue. There's not that much more. Post-World War II. In 1955, the South of Scotland Electricity Board, SSEB, came into being, paving the way for the creation of Scottish Power 4 decades later, in 1990. 2 years after that, Hydraulica Española and Iberdrola merged to form Iberdrola in the latter part of the 20th century. Iberdrola began expanding into Latin America, mainly Mexico and Brazil. With Scottish Power and Iberdrola formed in Europe in 1998, Energy East Corporation came into being in the U.S. following New York State Electric and Gas acquisition of Central Maine Power, Southern Connecticut Gas Company, Central Connecticut Natural Gas Company, Berkshire Gas Company, and RGS Energy Group, the parent of Rochester Gas and Electric. Following the arrival of Jose Ignacio Sanchez Galan in 2001, Iberdrola began focusing on renewable energy. In 2007, the company continued its international expansion, increasing its presence in the UK and US via the integration of Scottish Power and Energy East. As a culmination of its commitment to renewable energy, Jose Sanchez Galan has received the ESG Leadership Award from the Foreign Policy Association in New York, which recognizes leaders most committed to ESG principles. Iberdrola has faced several merger attempts and made additional acquisitions. Attempted merger between Iberdrola and Repsol in 1997, which failed due to lack of agreement between the companies. Attempted merger between Iberdrola and Repsol in 1999, which was rejected by La Caixa, Repsol's main shareholder. Attempted merger between Iberdrola and Endesa in 2000, which has stopped due to the conditions imposed by Spanish Prime Minister Jose Maria Aznar. Attempted hostile takeover bid by the natural gas for Iberdrola in 2003, which was vetoed by Spain's Natural Energy Commission. Acquisition of Scottish Power by Iberdrola in November 2006, which led to the integration of this company in April 2007. This gave rise to Europe's third largest utility. Acquisition of U.S. company Energy East by Iberdrola in 2008. Acquisition of Brazilian company Electrical in 2011. Acquisition of U.S. company United Illuminating in 2015. Acquisition of Australian company Avangrid Energy, which included the largest wind farm worldwide, the 1,000 MW Mount James wind farm in 2020. Clearly, my day has been long. My words are stumbling upon themselves, so I do need to call it here. I do want to say that this company, Iberdrola, if I'm saying it correctly, has worldwide ties. It hides behind subsidiaries. It pays a lot of money through those subsidiaries to market and to persuade customers to vote in its favor. I don't know what voting yes on question 3 will look like entirely, but I do believe that it will be different from what we've seen before. We'll have an elected board of officials, and they will bring upon officials, experts, and that's better than what's going on here. Because the further you dig, it goes to Qatar, Norway, Canada. So first Spain, then Qatar, Norway, Canada. No. CMP, Avangrid, all of this, it's suspect. Vote yes on question 3. And that is my opinion. Again, I'm not telling you how to vote. That is my opinion. I hope you do vote. And I hope these videos help you. in knowing how to vote in an educated way. Of course, do not take my word for this directly. Do your own research, dig into these things. I'm going to leave the articles down below so you can check them out. While you're checking them out, just go ahead and click on the comment section, leave a little comment, say, really like this video, Drew, or could you focus more on an aspect like this, or critique me in a respectful way if you find something that you disagree with. I encourage all of it. Go ahead and like this video and subscribe if you haven't already, because it really does help the algorithm. I'm still new. I still have a long way to go to reach a real audience, but I have a heart and a passion for the state of Maine, so I am really trying to find a way to appeal to the Mainer so that we are more informed and educated about what is happening within our own state, because this state is incredible. It's the way life should be, and it will stay that way as long as we stay educated and informed, and I encourage you guys to do just that. While you're doing that, drink some water. I wish water was a sponsor of this video. It is not, but you should do it anyway. I'm going to go hydrate. I've been drinking my tea, some stress tea, because this has got me stressed. But now, having talked to you guys on YouTube, I feel a little bit better. I've gotten the word out as much as I can. Now the rest is up to the algorithm and to you. So I hope you would share this video to others that are confused about what's going on, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.